Good day. We will discuss stock valuation, and this is from Investopedia. And what are the valuation method? Um, Actually, you have two models, and you have the first one will be your absolute. Sorry, the first one will be absolute, and the second one will be relative. Okay, of which when you say the absolute method, this is where we are computing for the market value of bonds, of which the different model that we use are your dividend discount model, the the cash flow model, the residual, and the asset base. Okay. On the other hand, if it is relative method, we use the ratio, no? If it is the relative valuation. And in our text, that's where you have the price to earnings, and you made the use also of the book price to book ratio. Okay, and so let's take a look at the each one with regards to the absolute valuation and the relative valuation. Your dividend discount model is of three types. You have no growth or zero growth, you have constant growth, and you have variable growth. Other term for the constant growth will be the Gordon model. Okay. And normally the zero growth is used in preferred stock. The constant and the variable growth can be for the common stock. Okay. And the input that we need in order for us to compute the dividend discount model are, of course, your cash flow in the form of dividend. Then we need to have a measure of risk, which would be the expected return. Then you should have the growth rate, which should be computed using the sustainable growth rate. Okay, since there is no maturity, or in this case, stocks are no end in time, no, the model that you have to use would be the perpetuity. Okay, and if it is perpetuity, normally this is used for preferred stock. Okay, so anong sabi dito? You have to take a look at the how much is the dividend of the company. Then why do we need to know if it is stable or not? Kasi you have to know the model that you have to use, no? And you're given here different data for dividends per share and earnings per share. So this is what you need to gather with your listed firm. And then we can compute for the dividend discount model using the different information given to us. Okay. Now, what is payout ratio? Payout ratio is this is how much we receive out of the earnings, because your earnings per share, diba? Ano yan? Payout and flowback. Okay. So, kung this one is 20%, then your flowback is 80. Because your earnings per share will constitute 100%. Okay? And so it mentioned that if we check the payout ratio and it is consistent, then yon, pwede daw natin gamitin yung dividend discount model. Okay? And how can we use the discounted cash flow if we know already that we can use the dividend discount model? Of course, ano lang yan. In order for you to compute for the market value of bond, then anong kailangan natin? You have the dividend divided by your expected return. This is D1, not D0. Pwede rin naman D0 kapag ka perpetuity model. Okay? This one is for preferred stock. Of course, if you have already the common stock, it's with growth rate already. Okay? And also, before we go to the discounted cash flow, if you do remember, when you talk about bond, we compute for the yield, diba, of which it is capital gains yield plus current yield. It's almost the same with stock, of which we can compute for the capital gains yield, and normally this one can be the basis of your expected return, no? So that would be the price of the bond in time 1 divided by the difference, diba, of the price of the bond in time 0. This you will need to use in order for us to compute the capital gains yield, no? Of which your denominator would be the price of the bond or price of the stock, no? So parehas lang naman yung formula niyan. Magkano mo siya nabenta, magkano mo siya dati nabili, o yun yung capital gain mo. And then you have your, sa halip na current yield, you have your dividend yield. Okay? And how do we determine the dividend yield? That would be dividend per share divided by market price per share. Okay? Para lang yan sa bond. Ang ginagamit natin, interest, diba? Divided by the market price of the bond. Okay. So, in using the discounted cash flow, it would normally be, take a look at the nature, no? You can use the free cash flow model, and then you compute for the terminal value. When do we use the free cash flow model? You normally use this if you have a predictable, positive, yun ang sabi dito, positive, predictable, free cash flow, of which we need to normally, anong nature ng firm? Ayan, sinasabi na sa atin, high growth, non-mature firms. Okay? So, you really need to know your type of organization to know which is the best model. Because these are all estimation. Okay? And then, kita nyo, importante na marunong tayo mag-compute ng operating cash flow, which was facilitated in chapter 4. And then we will need to determine also the free cash flow. Okay? Then, how about the comparable? The comparable model would be because of the law of one price. That's why we are using this, because we have the efficient market hypothesis, of which we assume that it's highly competitive and all informations are readily available. You made the decision, of which everyone is well informed in the market. Okay? So, how can we use this? Sabi nga natin, pag ginamit itong price multiple, malalaman kung undervalued or overvalued ang stocks. Okay? So, tingnan natin. Yan. We have here the price to book, the price to sale, and the price to cash flow aside from price to earning. Diba? Pero what is commonly used, of course, would be the price earnings ratio. Ano ba ang gusto natin? Anong nature? Positive earnings. Kasi mahirap namang the quality of the earning is very low. Ano yun? You don't have the capacity to perform. Yan. And so, we will have sample for this later. Ano natutunan natin? That there are two types, absolute, relative. There are different models. We are given 4 models here. And with relatives also we are given 2 models. Within the 2 model, they discuss multiple, and you have your different types of price to book, price to asset, or you have your price to earnings. Okay? So, ano yung key ulit? Know the nature of your company. No? Because there is, ano sabi sa atin? There is no single valuation model that could really fit your almost situation. It's situation that you will be exposed to. No? Ang kailangan lang ay kilala mo yung sarili mo para makapili ka ng model na fit sa'yo. Okay? So, thank you for listening. I'll give you the site of this for you to also read. Good day.